Good morning, good morning, good morning, community. How are you? Woohoo, it's Friday. Good afternoon to the East Coast. How are you? Wow, there's so much that impacts us. You don't even know where to start some days. When I was just acknowledging the East Coast, I thought, what's the weather like over there? How are you? I don't look at the news on a regular basis, so I know there was something happening off Bermuda, which would impact the East Coast, I guess, in Nantucket and Massachusetts and all those places. As you can see here, we've got great cloudiness, potential of rain, which is a pleasant thought. Maybe I wouldn't be motivated to get up and go exercise every day. I could just stay in the bed and listen to the rain and watch movies. So, I'm trying to see if I can get this bunny rabbit. I know, do you see it right there? See where we had a little bunny rabbit? Let's see, what am I looking at myself? Oh, there he is right there. That's it. See little jackrabbit? Look at what we have. Isn't that cute? Guess he's trying to figure out, what am I doing? Am I going to bother him? Sometimes it's nice to see different things. Good morning, little one. Cottontail. So, let's get started. Should I go up the hill first? I think I'm going to go up the incline first. So, I actually watched the debate last night. I was excited to see it. First debate I've watched. And I specifically watched it because they said they were going to mute him. I just wanted to hear what they had to say. I don't need all the yelling and screaming and talking over each other and name calling. I just wanted to see and hear, without interruption, what they were each saying. It was interesting. Okay, we're not going to do the incline. It's easier to talk on the road than it is with all the people up there. I'll hit that on the way back. It was interesting to watch, I must say. Such divergent points of views. And it really does speak to the level of divisiveness. I mean, it's so wide, the gap. For me, I just wish if I had a magic wand, and you can get mad at me if you want to, I don't care. There's some things I would pull about Trump. There's some things I would pull about Biden. And combined, we might have a person who would really be able to move the country toward the biggest dream that we might have for ourselves. Of course, the racist stuff from Trump, we don't need that. We live with it. We've been living with it for 400 plus years. Although bringing it to the forefront is good, but the way they brought it to the forefront doesn't work and doesn't support us. I'm glad we stopped taking care of the world, and those who owed us money pay us back our money. I mean, what are we supposed to do? Just keep printing money? I'm tired of everything I have saying, it's from China. I can remember when I was a young girl, my uncle worked right here in Los Angeles. There were mills. It was a steel mill. It's called Bethlehem Steel. So, that was what we had instead of everything being shipped off, because then America figured they could get it made cheaper, but we'd still be charged the high prices. So I get that. I also get that there's the immigration, the children that have been separated from their parents, children that can't be found and connected to their parents, the housing, the homeless. There's just so much. It's just a broken system. It's just all the way around. So even if we could pull a little bit from Trump and a little bit from Biden and create some person who could navigate it, they'd still be navigating a broken system. I can also see why there are those who want Trump. He's so true to who he is. I got to give him that. And he's so true to being an actor. What he said, I'm the least racist person in the room. And he honestly believes that to some degree. The way he believes what he believes and is unwavering in it is amazing to me. I'd say the manifesting principle he either uses consciously or doesn't use consciously is just amazing. Um, so anyway, people are going to vote the way they're going to vote. Clearly, it's going to be tight. Um, but it was just good to hear what they both had to say. I voted some days ago. My ballot's on my desk, my table though, because I just want to get clear about where I was going to take it. The idea of putting it in a drop box just is not an option for me. So I'm in Pasadena, California. I can drive to Norwalk, that's where we would go, and actually take it to the registrar's office. Or once the elections start here, which I think is the 30th of October in Pasadena, I can take it to an actual polling place and drop it off. But it'll be tight. You know, the propositions are tight. Do the 17-year-olds get to vote, yes or no? Somebody's like, well, why change it? They just do it when they're 18. You know, the Lyft and Uber is an issue. I thought they were always supposed to be independent contractors. I liked being independent contractors for years. The prisons, you know, the bail, paying for bail, paying money for bail. A lot of the propositions are really big and important. Then there's the issue of getting to the polls. Easily long lines, 10 hours plus. You know, take your food, take a chair, take a book, take some water. Go early. It's not even about waiting till the day of to vote. It's like, go early. I didn't know that there were time periods because I always voted on that Tuesday. I became so aware of that. So like I said, I did mine 2 days ago. Earliest I've ever done it. You know, and then a decision will be made. And we'll argue over the decision, what happened, what didn't happen, who said what, and then we'll have to live with it. I have to trust that if you've done what you said you were going to do with regard to voting and making your choices and getting your ballots in time, then the bottom line is, you know, we'll be fine. We will be fine. I believe that there's that sense of, you know, things are going to be scary if Trump continues. We'll see. Are the things going to be so much better with Biden? We'll see. There's a lot to uncover. There are so many executive orders that Trump has done that we don't know anything about. That's going to take the whole 4 years to do anything or see anything. It'll just, you know, Biden's win just makes it easier for people to breathe. You know, I think Trump's presidency has just been exhausting. For that coupled with the pandemic, I think if we just had to deal with him, it'd be fine. But when you got the pandemic as well, and the vaccine and the regulations and stipulations, it just makes it even more so. So in the end, though, we'll be fine. You're going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. We're going to be fine. We've been living like this all this time. So I'm confident that we will stand as a people. We will make decisions. And in a way, part of what's already started will continue, and that's our coming together in our communities, our coming together with each other, our continuing to build the vision or build toward the vision that we have for our lives and for America. No, I'm not one of those people that hates Trump or love Biden. I just look at them as two individuals who have two different positions, who think they have answers and solutions for the American people or for the world. A little bit of it is each one have a little bit of something that's of value, and then the rest you throw away. But it's not set up that way, so we have to deal with what we have. So the most that we can do in the process is, of course, to vote. To get to the polls way before you would normally would. Be mindful of your ballots. Be mindful of where you're putting them, where they go, what you're supposed to do. And then we'll see. We've held our breath before. And we've walked away disappointed before. And as one of my coaches used to say, you put on your big girl panties and you keep on going. And that's what we'll do, because that's what we have to do. It's not like we could just all fall out and say, okay, fine, I don't want to do this anymore. And as far as I know, there's no message from the universe saying the planet's going to be extinct and all of us get to start all over again with a clean slate. So we get to muddy ourselves through this because we kind of created some of this over the time. Granted, systemic racism is deep within the system. That's why we call it systemic. And I don't even know how you begin to pull out. It's like pulling out the sweetness that's in sugar. I don't know how you do that. In my fantasy of pulling something from one and pulling something from the other to make this unique and critical person who would show up as the president. It's a nice fantasy. I don't know when it's going to happen, though. Oh, that's better. I don't know when it's going to happen. You know, so we have what we have. And then we'll go on from there. What will it look like after the 4 years? We're going to see. Because we're going to be here doing what we need to do. Morning. So if we talk to each other more, if we as a people acknowledge each other more, if we as a people at least care about each other more and think about each other more, that may be the shift that we get. I was looking yesterday and, golly, I think it was in Minnesota. I don't want to get it wrong. But I think it was at Minnesota freedom fighters. And that was amazing to me. They were men. I think it's in Minnesota. You can bear arms. So everybody walks around with their weapons. And so, but they had come together to protect the black businesses because the white supremacists that were coming into other states causing problems and creating problems. So I was so amazed to see them come together, these black men, to protect the community, to make sure the businesses weren't destroyed by people coming from other states, creating these scenarios where it would seem like people in the state was doing it when really it was other people. And they're still there, and they're working with the police, and they're working with the community, and everybody welcomes it. I think it's amazing. I've said for some time now, I wish the Bloods and the Crips on this side would come together that way. Instead of fighting each other for some color on a rag, couldn't you guys come together and protect the community? Help each other out. Talk to those who are rioting and looting. Talk to those who don't have jobs. Talk to those who are potentially looking to hurt others. And we could do that and police ourselves. And they're there in Minnesota, freedom fighters. Nobody's bothering them. They welcome them. They support, even the police support. So maybe there'll be some ways for us to begin to look at how we can do things differently going forward in our communities. Not on the higher scale, because the higher scale is so big. There's so much BS up there in Washington. There's so much that we just don't even know. You know, and quite frankly, I could be wrong, but I don't know if there's a president who's ever really cared about the black community the whole time. You know, we've been voting and voting and voting, but we're not high on anybody's agenda. It's become real clear that the Latino community is the one who can swing this vote, not the black community. The Latino community also is very conservative. So when I look at it, I can't get angry. Who's cared about black folks all this time? They figured we didn't care about ourselves, so they didn't have to care about us either. Now, I don't know what these orange cones mean, but I'm going to keep walking. Hopefully the earth's not going to fall or collapse. So, you know, when you look at the black community, what's really changed over the years? There's fewer jobs. At least the Latino community has jobs. They create their own jobs. They're allowed to work. They've got their stands on the corners, and they're allowed to do that. Oh, they're cutting trees. Morning. I was wondering what you guys were doing. Shame on them. Shame on them cutting trees. But there's never been a whole lot that black folks have gotten out of any of these elections over the years. You know, we had affirmative action. They took that back. You know, so I know the concern now is that racism is present, but racism has always been present. It's just that we are aware of it now. We see it. We live with it every day. I never forget that Trevor Noah, when he came to America, he said he was surprised that we were so polite in our racism, because in Africa, it's like real clear on Front Street. We are racist. We don't like y'all. This is the way we see you, and this is what we think. We all want to be all delicate over here and polite. We know we're not liked on this country. We know people don't like black folks. It's just open and present now. And yes, some people are taking action on that. Well, we've become like some of the other, what they would say with third world country. America's just becoming that too. So now we know it. Now we're mindful, even more so than before, hopefully. Hopefully we will make sure we take the measures to feel protected while we're here. Yes, it is exhausting living as a black person in America. I think most of us try not to pay attention to it because if you give it too much energy, then you get exhausted and tired. Still got to put one foot in front of the other. There's no real relief coming, per se. Even with all the propositions, and then you got to have the propositions implemented, and then the implementation may not look anything like what you thought when you were voting on it. So in the end, we need to stay focused on what we want to do in our lives, what we want to see showing up in our lives, how we want to live our lives, and how we're going to contribute. And as long as no one's stopping you from doing that, no one's getting in the way and bothering you while you're doing that, in some regards, we really fly under the radar. Who gets all the impact are our black men. Because they figure they wipe out the black men, then that wipes out the race. There's some truth to that. Because from basketball players to actors to leaders, they've all been impacted by police. They are. I remember a basketball player who's on the ground, spread eagle, with the police having a gun on it, only to find out he's a basketball championship winner. And we're sorry. Courtney Vance, you've seen him on TV over the years. Police stopped him. And if it wasn't for one of the officers knowing who he was, he would have been on the ground. So, I think Barack got stopped at one point. So, none of our men are off limits. And that's the biggest piece that we have to deal with going forward. We haven't even talked about our children. Children are hungry. Children don't have education. Children don't have computers. America is not concerned about that. They never have been. And we don't need to act like they are. We need to be concerned about it and decide what we're going to do and how we're going to come together as those people of brown, yellow, white, green, purple, black, whatever, and decide for ourselves what we're going to do, because we wait on them to do it. They're not thinking about us. Why should they? They have no reason to. All the money's up there. All the power's up there in their minds. All the decisions are being made up there in their minds. So what happens when we recognize the power we do have? What happens when we take more responsibility for the power we do have? Come together as groups. Come together and unite ourselves. And that's what I'm hoping we'll get the chance to do, depending on what goes forward with either of the presidents. Because no matter what, we still need to do that, is come together, define who we're going to be, how we're going to be. That didn't make it that much better. What we're going to do, what that looks like, and do that no matter what. No matter what. So it was interesting to see the two gentlemen. I don't have 100% confidence in Biden. The only thing I understand about Trump is because he's so basic in what he says that I can kind of read what he's going to say and do. It's not covered up much. He just says it blurts out of his mouth and he keeps on going. But as I said earlier, there's so many executive actions and things. He did 400 executive actions in the first year or so. We don't even know what they all were. So when you start pulling that string to unravel whatever he's put in place, that could take the whole 4 years. So it's like, what? Let's focus on us. Let's focus on our lives. Let's focus on our families. Let's focus on our children. Let's focus on our health. If there's someone to the right of you, someone to the left of you that says, hey, I'll help you, I'll support you, join hands. There's someone to the left of that person, right of that person says, I'll help you, join hands. And we just keep joining hands and joining hands with those who are like-minded and say that we are moving toward this and this direction, and let's do it together. Because otherwise, if we wait for whatever to change, if we wait for whatever we think is supposed to happen, could happen, or might happen, we'll be waiting a long time. So part of what's come out of this process is people are more aware of things they didn't know. Tulsa, 1921, white America tore down, burned down, massacred a town of black folks. That's on America's history. That's on white America's history. They're proud of it, I guess. It's fine. So now that's in the conversations. The 1619 Project, that's also in the conversations. Excuse me. So that's a good thing. I'm pleased and happy about that. So there's a lot more conversations that are being held that hadn't been held before. And maybe that's what we get at this point. In the meantime, though, I am going to be looking at empowering women to make peace with money so they have financial confidence. As we continue to go forward, money is still an issue. empowering all of us to focus on our hearts and our health, because no matter what presidency is, on a day-to-day basis, we're responsible for our hearts. We're responsible for our health choices and decisions, the way they impact us, because that impacts our money, that impacts our medical care. You know, our health impacts all of that. I'm still going to encourage you to look at your health and your heart, your faith and your finance. Trust that there's something bigger than all of this that we see that keeps us moving, keeps us going, that cares about us and loves us. Because you and I are not beating our hearts, and you and I are not breathing our breaths. And when I say that, what I mean is we are not consciously taking in breaths, inhaling and exhaling. We're not consciously telling our heart to beat. Something is doing that for us. So long as that something keeps doing that for us, I put my trust and faith in that something, whatever it is you want to call it. So, get to the polls. I think they have said it, and I like that word. This is a consequential election. Yes, there will be consequences, but there always have been. I can't even begin to forecast. You know, Trump stays in office. It continues. We're on high alert. Continues. We can be, if you choose to, be exhausted by his, I almost want to call him a manic depressive. Biden gets in office. People go, okay, I'm not sure how good that is. And then at some point they'll probably get frustrated because things won't go the way we think they're going to go. I'm not so sure how well we live when we're not alert and awake. I'm not sure how much we pay attention to what's happening, because America has its own machine that runs so well on spin, 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 buy, buy, buy. You need this, you need this. There's almost now more commercials on TV than there is actual entertainment. And that's what keeps everything going, is that machine. So I don't know how much Biden's going to impact that changing. It depends on the Senate, of course, and the House. Because if he doesn't have any help in the Senate and the House, it's just like Obama. You have to flip them. So when you want to try and pass the bills or executive orders or whatever, you have those people who are there to support you in doing that. So in the meantime, though, we still have to do what we have to do. Those of us who are students have to get our kids through school. I just begin to think now about, as we go into the holidays and head into that next semester of school, we have seniors now graduating from high school going to college. This is their last year. What does that look like? And then I have a senior coming up right behind them. If we don't get some act together, what happens to them? So focus on you. Focus on your family. I think this may be the first time again I may sit and watch the election. I think it's actually my birthday. And I may go out to dinner. At that point, it's going to be what it's going to be. We know it's going to take a minute to get all the votes in. We know there'll probably be cases filed with courts about what was unfair and what was unlawful. It's just going to be a mess. So maybe I'll just have dinner and check it out the next day. In the meantime, though, family, take care of you. Take care of your hearts. Take care of your dreams. Take care of your goals. All of this going on doesn't impact my goal and desire to empower women, to really make peace with money and have financial confidence. To live a life that fulfills you. From painting to speaking to simply raising your children. Focus on you. Focus on yours. Focus on your health, your heart, your finance, and your faith. Morning. So now we'll see. We have about, 2 weeks before election, right? So you get to take your freedom today. You get to say, I'm free. Free from the craziness. free from the struggle, free from the worry, free from the fear. I've talked to people who are like, I'm terrified. That serves us no way at all. And I understand it's their genuine feeling. But I know also that our energy and our vibration impacts this planet. If we have too many people terrified, then we're not contributing to the problem. Because it's basically walk around in fear like, oh my God. And we're sending that energy out into the universe. You have your faith. Turn to it. Depend on it. Lean on it. Look for answers there. Look for solutions there. You're not in this by yourself. You're not in this by yourself. So take your freedom. I think the weather changed for us to calm down, to relax, to turn within. I think it's gray everywhere. I don't know if anybody has any 80-degree weather today. To hunker down and really anchor yourself to something bigger than yourself that you trust, that you depend on, and know that it goes before you, opening the doors. I have business partners who have made incredible money during this time. So I know everybody's impacted a different kind of way. Several of my friends, business owners, their businesses have expanded. So you've got to know that you're the one in your life that makes things happen. You're the one that's going to have to make everything happen in your life. So you have to be the one that takes the charge of your life and do what you know you need to do for you. This outer picture out here can be distracting, but it's your life. Morning, it's your life. It's your life. You have the freedom to create, to live, to be, and to do. So Friday freedom is taking your freedom, owning your freedom. You have the freedom to think. You have the freedom to create. You have the freedom to be. You have freedoms. And this Friday, I'm encouraging you to take your freedoms, to stand on your freedom. You have the freedom in every moment to choose what you will do, what you won't do, what you will listen to, how you will react, how you won't react. It's your life. We're just all in this together because there's an election, but on a day-to-day basis, you're the one living your life. On a day-to-day basis, you're the one that's making things happen in your life. Morning. So you're the one that has to take control and power for your life. No matter who's in charge, no matter what the president is or saying or doing, you're the one that has to take control of your life. So claim today, Friday freedom, and go after whatever it is you say you want for your life, for your family, for your happiness. For your happiness. Because for my happiness, Trump and Biden don't have anything to do with it. My happiness is empowering women to shift their relationship with money, giving them proven strategies of what they can do to walk themselves out of debt, to walk themselves into financial freedom. And neither one of those men impact that. They don't impact my goal and my dream to impact women. So it's the same thing in your life. You are the one in your life. You impact what does and does not happen in your life based on what you think and based on the decisions that you make and then based on the actions you're willing to take. So I don't know in this whole time I've paid that much attention to the man because I was just continuing to do my business and continue to work with women who were willing to say yes. So it's up to you how much freedom you have. It's up to you in your mind and your thinking. It's up to you how much you choose to allow yourself to be impacted by some of the things that are happening. Because it really is your life. It's your life. You've got to take responsibility for it. You've got to make the decisions. You get to make the choices. No one else does that but you. And that's your power, but more importantly, that's your freedom. That's your freedom. That's why I tell you, turn off the TV, stop looking at all that stuff. You don't have to look at it blow by blow by blow. What, so you can be in a conversation with someone to bitch and complain about the man? That's how you want to spend your time? No. You have a life, you have dreams, you have goals. Focus on that. Give that your attention. So then you see the results, and then you can be enjoying happiness no matter what else is going on. I don't walk out here just to be walking. It's my goal for health. It's my goal to be healthy. So that's what I do. Neither one of those men in office impact that. They don't stop it. They don't change that. What I eat, what I drink, how I sleep, how I exercise. No. So where are you not taking full responsibility in your life for your dreams and your freedoms? Looking outside thinking someone else is going to do it, or when that changes, then I'll do it, or when I get this from over there, then I'll do it. No, 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 no. It's your life. You've been given your assignment. You're the one who gets to stay focused on it and take the actions for the results that you want. You don't get to say, well, I didn't do this because Trump did that, or I didn't do this because Biden did that. No, half the stuff we do, the president has a little bit to do with it. The TV has just made that center stage focus. But what we need to do in our lives, it's on us. And we still have that power to do it. And so today I claim this Friday freedom. 1, it's the end of the week. 2, you get to recuperate over the weekend. Set your sights on your goals. Decide on what are the actions you're going to take. What are the time frames to do those actions? What support do you need to make those actions a reality? What is the expectation that you have for yourself? And then go ahead about doing what you need to do in your life for yourself, for your happiness, for your freedom, and for your wholeness. We are going to be here. I'm now projecting probably till March, because I know they're opening up some more venues for people to do different things. But I also know, because the country is so divided, at some point those numbers are probably going to go back up. And at some point we'll probably be back where we were. Morning. But that's just the roller coaster ride I guess we're going to be riding. So for your Friday freedom, claim your freedom. Your life, your dreams, your goals, what you want to see for you. And as you hold that positive energy for you, it transmits out into the world. And as we all do it, it transmits out into the world and it impacts others. You have not lost anything. You know, I hear people say, that man. I'm like, why do you give him so much attention? Don't you have other things to do in your life? Is what he's doing right now, this very moment, impacting your life in your home? And for some of you, I know the answer is yes. But for many of us like me, the answer is no. I have greater impact in my life right now than he does. So claim your freedom. Know you're good enough, you're strong enough, you're smart enough, and you're worthy. Dropped one of my pieces of gum. You're worthy to claim it, to have it, to build it, to create it, and to do it. So, hey, family, I see you. Hi, Pamela. Hi, Lori. Hi, Ann Roberts. Let me see. Verbally. Oh, that's like Beverly, but with a V. Nice, Harris. How are you? Let me know where you guys are. Hashtag replay. What state are you in? What you're working on, what you're focusing on. Good morning, ladies. I'll let you know about the challenge when it comes up. I'll let you know about some freebies that I have as we go on to support you on your journey. So take good care. Hashtag replay. Let me know what state you're in. How are you? Anybody needs some support around shifting your relationship with money? That's what I do, is really help women with strategies, proven strategies, to get out of that cycle that you may find yourself in. God knows I was in it for way too many years. You can reach me at www.JenenneMacklin.com. In the meantime, take good care. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Vote. Make a plan to vote. And be conscious. In the past, where you just vote and put your ballot wherever you didn't worry about it. Well, now this year, you got to be mindful about it. Oh, this is where I start. Okay, so I'm gonna go right back in here again. Oh, by the trees. Well, we'll see what they say. In the meantime, have a great day. Bye for now. Just put one foot in front of the other and walk your path to your goals.